the last lecture in the last lecture we have discussed about factors influencing capacity of any plant, and in that we have discussed various factors like forecasting demand. Then we have discussed uh, management policies, then subcontracting, then overtime, or we can say that the labor and plant efficiency. Like these factors we have discussed in the last lecture as a factors influencing capacity. Today we are going for this lecture we are going to discuss the new point as aggregate planning. Okay, so try to understand this type of a planning. Okay, in this aggregate planning, in aggregate planning we can say that this type of a planning will be run for less than 1 year time period. So let us say 3-month time period, 6-month time period, 9-month time period, or 1 year time period. So over the time period, whatever we are going to consider for the planning purpose, for that time period, whatever the facilities are available in the plant. Okay, initially whatever the facilities available in the plant, that all the facilities will be considered as a constant. Okay, so there will not be any change in the facility for that particular time period. Okay, so you are not going to invest a single rupees on the facility like machine purchase or like that things. Okay, so facilities are the constant one. Okay, now you have to manage or you have to accommodate the fluctuation of a demand in the market. Okay, let us say in a uh, 1 year time period, the demand fluctuations will be there. Okay, demand will vary, there is seasonality, or there is variation due to uncertainties in the market. That variation we have discussed in a forecasting. So over the 1 year time period or over the 3-month time period, we are going to consider the facility as a constant part. It will not vary. Okay, so let us consider the machines. Whatever the 10 machines we are required to manufacture the product, that 10 machines we will not change, or we are not going to add up a extra machine over that particular time period. Okay, now in that case, what will be the factor with you so that you can vary or you can accommodate the change in demand of that particular product in the market. Okay, so in that case you are having the factors like variation in labor. Okay, then variation in overtime. Okay, sometimes if the demand is more for the particular period, you can extend the working time of a worker. Okay, as a manager, I'm saying as a manager, the another factor is you can extend the time period. Okay, then third part we can say that you can vary the inventory level. Okay, inventory level. Okay, so if you store the large amount of inventory to accommodate the demand, then the demand variation will get absorbed. Okay, let us say in a future 3-month time period, the demand you have forecasted that the demand will goes up in a drastic manner. Okay, due to some kind of a effects in the market. So that you have sensed. So what you are going to do to accommodate that particular demand? So and after 3 months it will be normalized. Okay, that is the situation. It is happen always in the market that for the for some time period particular product demand goes up and then it will get normalized or it will comes to its own level. So for that uncertainty, what you are going to do? Okay, you have some of the factors like that material. One is the material, raw material things. So by fluctuating raw material we can fluctuate the output. Okay, so that is nothing but how large amount of raw material with you, then the output problem will be solved. But what about the conversion process? What about the other factors like energy, like human interference or workers, like machine requirement. Okay, so machine will run with their with maximum efficiency. If you run, there is some a limitation to run the machines also. Okay, so if you want to run the single machine for 24 hours, then also you can generate a particular quantity of a products only. Okay, beyond that you should have some extra things so that you can accommodate that particular demand, a variation of a demand for the particular period. Okay, so aggregate planning will be considered for the planning of short term period. Okay, planning of a short term period. In that planning, initially you have to consider the physical facilities whatever available at the time of, or the start of that particular time period, will not fluctuate or will not change. Okay, and you are going to meet up the demand, you are going to accommodate or fulfill the demand of a market by varying labor, inventory, material. Like, these are the factors. By varying these factors, you are going to accommodate the demand. So why these are the factors why you are not going to change the facility? Because the company ultimate goal is that you have to produce maximum thing by utilizing minimum resources. Okay, when your company will gain more profit when you have utilized the minimum resources and you produce maximum output, then and then only the company will get more profit. Okay, so here your aim is to reduce the cost of a production. Your aim is to reduce the cost of a production and increase the product quantity. Okay, increase the product quantity. So for that purpose, this aggregate planning will be one kind of a planning tool, one kind of a planning tool. Okay, so you can say that it is an intermediate term planning decision. It is process of a planning the quantity and the timing of output over the intermediate time zone. Okay, within the time range, the physical facilities are assumed to be fixed for the planning period. Therefore, fluctuation in demand must be met by varying labor and inventory schedules. Aggregate planning seeks the best combination of minimize cost. Okay, to minimize cost. So what are the different strategies? Like, just now we have discussed what are the different strategies. Okay, so after fixing the physical facility as a constant, so what factors remain? One is nothing but a labor, second one is nothing but a material, and third one is nothing but a capital. Okay, so if you think about the labor, okay, so we know that the motivated laborers will provide more efforts for maximum output, or demotivated laborers will reduce the outcome. So that is the factor about the labor attitude. Okay, now we know that the more efforts are required to generate the more volume of output, and if that is also not satisfying the demand, then we can go for the overtime. Okay, so about the labor, one is nothing but a good attitude labor should be provided, and it should be a highly motivated for the betterment of a company, and the attitude of a labor should be in a such a manner that if company will grow in a future. With the company growth, my growth is uh, uh, also happen with the company growth. So that attitude is more important. Now yes, okay, labor attitude is one part, or a labor effort is one part, but then also if you are having highly motivated labor, skillful labor, then also if the demand will not satisfy, then you can maintain a proper labor force and you can vary the overtime. If there is a large demand of a product in the market, or very high demand of a product in the market, at that time you can provide the overtime to the labor. Okay, and if there is no demand for the product, or no demand is not possible, but a less demand for, or a normal demand for the product in the market, at that time you can provide a general or normal time period, or you cannot provide the overtime for the labor. Okay, and the second variable we have discussed, that is the material. Okay, if the suitable amount of a material is available with you, material in the sense of a raw material, if the suitable amount of a raw material is available with you, then and then only you can process that material and you can get the output from that particular material. So material, we can say that if you want to produce the more amount of a good, you should have a more amount of a material. Okay, so by varying the material quantity or a raw material quantity, you are varying the output or you are regulating the output. Okay, so alternatives are available with the company. So these two factors are there. Alternatives, that is nothing but related to the capital. Capital means what? Capital, we can say that capital investment. So investment in the physical goods will be considered as a capital investment. Okay, or we can say that the uh, uh, that will provide the return back. Okay, if you invest something and that will ensure uh, the um, the money flow in back to you, then that particular investment will be considered as a capital investment. Now inventory will be one kind of a capital investment, because all the processing cost, all the material cost will be blocked in the finished good. Okay, and the raw material is also we have to maintain the raw material inventory also. Okay, so that cost is also a capital cost, because once it will get finished, it will be payback to you. Okay, as a profit or the total price of that particular product. Okay, so the alternative available with you as inventories, whatever the inventory, we should have a proper control on that particular inventory. Okay, so that whenever such a fluctuation will be there in the market, that will be absorbed by the inventory only. Okay, that will be absorbed by the inventory. Inventory means what? Storing the stock, maintaining the stock of a finished goods. Okay, there are some another option with you, that is nothing but back ordering or a subcontracting. Back ordering meaning is that whatever the pending orders are there, okay, in a busy schedule, or when the demand of a product is very much high, at that time period, some of the orders you are unable to fulfill. At that time period, some of the orders are you are unable to fulfill. So such orders will be taken over the time period where you don't have that much load, okay, on your production, or you don't have that much demand of a product in the market. So at that time you can fulfill such orders which you have not uh, which you have unable to fulfill at the time of a peak period. Okay, at the time of a peak period, so such orders will be taken and will be fulfilled whenever there is a less load on a production or less demand of a product in the market. Okay, and or subcontracting already we have discussed what is mean by subcontracting. Offloading, or it is also called as a offloading means if you are unable to produce that component, or the production cost of that component in your company is higher as compared to the market cost. In that case, you can procure or buy that product from the vendor end. Okay, you can procure or buy that particular product from the vendor end. So that is nothing but subcontracting. So these are these factors are also helping to accommodate or to increase the capacity of any plant with constant physical facilities. Okay, with a constant physical facilities. Okay, then with continued manner, what we can do with the factors whatever available with you. If you want to vary the size of a workforce means what? The quantity of a worker. So at the time of higher peak period, or more load or more demand, at that time we can hire the laborers. And when there is no load or normal load, so at that time we can laying off means what? We can remove out that labors, extra labors from the industry. So that this is one point with you, or this is one factor to increase the capacity of a labor force. Okay, then vary the hours worked. Okay, so if you don't want to change the quantity of a labor force, or we can say that the quantity of a number of employees, so in that case you can provide the overtime. Okay, so you can vary the load, so that permits the idle time when there is a slack, and permits the overtime when demand is peak. Okay, then vary the inventory level. So next is point is related to the inventory level. So demand fluctuation can be met by the large amount of inventory. By maintaining the large amount of inventory, you can absorb the fluctuation of a demand in the market. And the last one is subcontracting. So upward shift in a demand from low level, constant production rates can be met up by using subcontracting to provide the extra capacity. So if you are providing some products to the external vendor, so that particular vendor will work on behalf of you. So that will be the extra capacity for your industry. Okay, let us say that vendor is providing one component in 10 rupees, and you are selling that component in a 15 rupees. Okay, so 5 rupees profit with you, and that vendor also getting somewhat 1-2 rupees profit. So actually the product is manufactured up to 8 rupees, and vendor getting 2 rupees, and you are getting 5 rupees benefit from the same product. So in that manner also you can think about the subcontracting, and you can increase the capacity of your plant by doing the subcontracting. Okay, getting my point? So there are some guidelines while doing the aggregate planning. Okay, first of all, you have to consider all the policies that has been prepared by the managers or by the corporate regarding the controllable variables. Okay, which are the controllable variables? Labor force, okay, or labor, then capital and material. So these are the controllable variables when we are fixing the facilities. Okay, we are making the constant facilities. So at that time, these three are the variable factors, or in a segregate manner, if you say that the vary the size of the workforce, vary the hours of a worker, vary the inventory level, and subcontracting. These four factors, or four factors we will consider as a controllable variables. Okay, then this is the one point that you need to focus on, because there are different rules for the different management related to the overtime. Okay, some of the management provide the overtime extra money with 20% or 30% allowance to the worker. Means in a daytime period, for a particular worker is getting 50 rupees per hour. Okay, then in an overtime period he will get 70 rupees or 80 rupees for 1 hour. Okay, so that some policies are prepared for the overtime, and for in some companies they will not provide any kind of overtime money for the workers, and they are considering that the worker is working for the same salary for that particular day. Okay, then the next thing is nothing but use of a good forecast as a basis of a planning. Okay, how you come to, I think you come to know that how much important the forecast for the planning purpose. Okay, so the accuracy of a forecast matters a lot. Okay, if your accuracy collapse, then the company will collapse, or it will be in a loss for the long time period if you will not predict the proper demand of a product in the market. Okay, then after that, plan a proper unit of a capacity. Okay, then suitable capacity plan should be established. Okay, and suitable capacity means what? Let us consider that the demand is fluctuating in between 50 component to the 150 component. So at least you should have a 75 component capacity with your plant. Okay, means what? If I'm saying that per day the fluctuation of a demand is from 50 component to the 150 component. Okay, and you should have the facilities at least 75 components. Your company should produce at least 75 components. Okay, so that will accommodate your fluctuation of a demand, and if you maintain the proper inventory level, so maintain the stable workforce. Actually the fluctuation in quantity of a labor will not be that much. uh, um, we can say that the effective way to accommodate the fluctuation in demand, okay, or fluctuation in capacity. Actually what will happen, on the right time you will not get the right person, okay, on the right time you will not get the right quality person from the market, okay, and that will hamper a lot for the production. So you create a work employee quantity in a such a manner that they will work extra whenever there is a requirement, okay, whenever there is a requirement they will work extra, and you should motivate for that particular extra work, okay. So proper stable workforce is required initially, and that stable workforce able to work for extra time period, so that will be the good combination of factors for the enhancement of a capacity. Then maintain needed control over the inventory. Now second part, you come to know that the fluctuation in demand can be accommodated by inventory only, okay. So sudden demand will be absorbed by inventory only. Let us consider that you want to your production is 100 component per day, okay, and for 1 month time period you will not get any order from your customer, and at the end of month you will get the order of 6,000 component, okay. So in 1 month you have produced 3,000 component only, and at the end of month you will get 6,000 components. So extra 3,000 component it will not be able to produce in a 1 day time period, okay, or it will not be able to produce in a 6 month time period. So at that time what is useful, or else if you will not supply the 6,000 component, then you will lose that particular contract, or you lose that particular um, customer, or that particular order will be shifted to your competent. That is the problem in the market actually. So at that time you should have a proper inventory level to absorb the demand or fluctuation in demand in the market. So and there should be a proper space, or we can say that you should accommodate the changes in the products or changes in the processes as per the requirement of a market. So maintain flexibility to change, okay, is if there is any change in the product you should accommodate that change. If there is a change in a process, then you should accommodate that change, okay. So there should be a scope for the change in that particular planning period. Then respond to demand in a controlled manner, okay, when it will be happen. So these maintain the needed control over the inventory, okay. If you are having the proper control over the inventory level, then you can able to respond to demand in a controlled manner, okay. And whatever plan you have prepared, that plan should be evaluated on a regular basis. Evaluated means, let us consider that for 1 month time period you are planned to produce 1,000 component, and at the 15th day of this particular month you have produced 450 components. So you need to evaluate where you are wrong, okay. 15 days are completed, at least 500 component you should produce, okay, and your plan in such a manner that 50 to 60 components should be more than actual production. So in this manner you should plan, so that there will not be failure of a plan, or you can take a suitable corrective step uh, uh, at the time permits, okay. 15 days time period with you, and you can take a suitable steps when you the check your plan with the actual things happening at the shop floor, and you will have some time period to correct or to take the corrective actions for the variations, okay. So that on a regular basis you need to check your plan, and you should tally with your desired goals, okay. So that is nothing but aggregate planning guidelines. These are the aggregate planning guidelines. So there are some techniques, okay, we will not go in deep what these kinds of techniques are there. There are some linear programming approach. Okay, linear programming means what? The two variables are there, and they are directly proportional to each other. So in that case, we can say that or inversely proportional to each other. And when we plot the graphs of these two variables, then we will get the straight line. So that is nothing but linear analysis or linear programming. So by using that linear programming approach, we can make the aggregate planning. Okay, then the similar kind of decisions are there. Okay, decisions are there. So if this will happen, what action need to take against that particular factor. So like that, some linear decisions are there. So uh, uh, we can say that the cause and does, these types of actions are there. So that is nothing but linear decision rules. And similar kind of computer applications are there. Okay, or simulation tools are there. Okay, and by using that simulation tool also, we can perform the aggregate planning, or we can simulate, or we can analyze the causes of the plans by using computer search techniques or the simulation models. Okay, by using the computer search techniques or the simulation model. Okay, getting everyone? Is there any question, any doubt about this aggregate planning? Is there any question, any doubt about the aggregate planning? Whether you understood what is meant by aggregate planning? What is meant by aggregate planning? Kindly let me know whether you understood, or is there any doubt? Is there any doubt, any question? Okay. Okay, so write down aggregate planning. Okay, aggregate planning. Give the heading aggregate planning. Aggregate planning. Aggregate planning. Aggregate planning. It is an intermediate term planning decision. It is an intermediate term planning decision. It is an intermediate term planning decision. Full stop. It is process of planning. 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 The quantity, it is process of planning. The quantity and the timing of output, and timing of output, and timing of output over the intermediate time horizon, over the intermediate time horizon, intermediate time horizon, or a short term period, intermediate time horizon or short term period, in bracket 3 months to 1 year, 3 months to 1 year, 3 months to 1 year. Next point, within the time range, within the time range, within the time range, comma, within the time range, comma, the physical facilities are assumed to be fixed. The physical facilities are assumed to be fixed for the planning period. Within the time range, comma, the physical facilities are assumed to be fixed for the planning period, for the planning period, full stop. Therefore, 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 comma, fluctuations in demand, fluctuations in demand Therefore, fluctuations in demand must be met by fluctuation in demand must be met by varying labor and inventory schedule must be met by varying labor and inventory schedule. Full stop. Next point. Aggregate planning 6 the best combination to minimize cost. Aggregate planning 6 the best combination to minimize cost. Or write down next point, aggregate planning strategies. Aggregate planning strategies. Aggregate planning strategies. In that first point, aggregate planning strategies. In that first point, the variables of the production system, the variables of the production system, the variables of the production system are the variables of the production system are labor, comma materials, comma materials and capital. Next point, more labor effort is required. More labor effort is required to generate higher volume of output. To generate higher volume of output. Full stop. Hence, the employment. Hence, comma the employment and use of overtime in bracket OT in bracket OT are the two relevant variables. Next point, materials helps to regulate output. Materials helps to regulate output. Materials help to regulate output. Next, the alternatives available to the company. The alternatives available to the company are inventories, comma back ordering or subcontracting of items. The alternatives available to the company are inventories, comma back ordering, or subcontracting of items. Next point, this controllable variable these controllable variables constitute pure strategies by which fluctuation in demand and uncertainties. These controllable variables constitute pure strategies by which fluctuation in demand and uncertainties in production activities can be accommodated. First, vary the size of the workforce. Vary the size of the workforce. Vary the size of the workforce. In that you can write output is controlled. Output is controlled. Output is controlled by hiring or laying off workers in proportion to changes in demand. Laying off workers in proportion to changes in demand. Second factor, vary the hours worked. Vary the hours worked. In that you can write maintain the stable workforce. Comma, but permit idle time when there is, yes Atish, but permit idle time when there is a slack, and permit overtime when demand is peak. Third point, vary inventory levels. Demand fluctuation, in that you can write demand fluctuation can be met by large amount of inventory. Demand fluctuations can be met by large amount of inventory. Then last one, subcontracting. Subcontract. Upward shift in demand from low level. Here should not be full stop, comma. Constant production rates can be made. By using subcontractors. ओके इसका मीनिंग क्या होता है? जब हम हमारा डिमांड लो लेवल से ऊपर की तरफ जाता है, मतलब कंसीडर करो कुछ दिनों के लिए डिमांड, you are having demand of 10 products per day, okay, and suddenly it is increased to 100 products per day, okay, so that is nothing but upward shift in demand from low level, okay. And in that case what you can do, you can assign some of the load to your vendors, okay, so that is nothing but subcontracting. So constant production rates can be met by using subcontractors to provide extra capacity. Or then write down the next line. Next point, aggregate planning guidelines. Aggregate planning guidelines. First of all, determine the corporate policy regarding controllable variables. Okay, what is the policy related to the labor overtime in your company? What is the policy for hiring and laying off the worker when there is a peak time period or there is a slack? Okay, then what is the policy related to purchasing the new machine? In the aggregate planning, physical facilities will not be changed, so purchasing machine will not be the part of aggregate planning. Okay, but keeping the inventory. Okay, what is the safety stock for your company? Okay, maintaining that safety stock or increasing production rate. Okay, so what are the different policies of your company that should be understood, okay, by you before doing the planning? Use a good forecast. Next is use a good forecast as a basis for planning. Use a good forecast as a basis for planning. Use a good forecast as a basis for planning. Then plan a proper units of a capacity. Okay, plan a proper units of capacity. I had given one example that the daily demand is fluctuating from 50 unit to 150 unit. Okay, so you should have at least capacity of your plant that uh, that should be produced. Your plant should be produced at least 75 to 100 components per day. Okay, so then and then only, if there is a peak demand of a 150, it will be accommodated by that day production and previous some days production. Okay, previous some days production. So let us say your production rate is 75 units. So today you are having 50 unit uh, demand in the market. Okay, 25 will be stored. Okay, tomorrow you are having 60 unit uh, 60 unit demand in the market. So in that case, 15 units will be stored. Suddenly the demand goes to the 100 unit. Okay, for the next day. So in that day you are having some safety stock or you are having some inventory. So from the inventory 25 components and that day 75 components. In that manner you can fulfill the demand. Okay, so in such a manner you should plan a proper unit of a capacity. Okay, you should plan a proper unit of a capacity. Then maintain the stable workflows. Maintain the stable workflows. So this idea, variation of a labor force, it is not a good idea. Okay, so the people are not free. Okay, so anytime you hire them and anytime you lay off them. Okay, so people are not free or they are not that much shameless. Okay, like कधी भी येऊन जावा, कधी भी काढता तुम्ही, कधी पण हायर करता, ते फ्री बसलेले नसते. ओके, and some good people will join the another company and you will not get such a people or such a worker at when you required. Okay, you needed at that time they will not get you. So the best way is to maintain a stable workforce. Okay, means what? An on roll workers. Okay, proper on roll workers should be there, and you should provide the overtime or idle time whenever there is a peak period or whenever there is a slack period. So maintain the stable workforce. Then maintain needed control over inventory. Maintain needed control over inventories. So control in what sense? So इन्वेंट्री की लेवल कब बढ़ानी है, कब कम करनी है, कब सेफ्टी स्टॉक मेंटेन करना है, so कब सेफ्टी स्टॉक की क्वांटिटी बढ़ानी है. So that is nothing but controlling the inventories. Okay, controlling the inventories. So maintain needed control over inventories. Then next, maintain flexibility to change. Maintain flexibility to change. Then respond to demand in a controlled manner. Respond to demand in a controlled manner. Next, evaluate planning on a regular basis. Evaluate planning on a regular basis. Okay. So these are the some of the points which will be considered as a guidelines for the aggregate planning. Okay. The next, aggregate planning techniques oblique methods. Aggregate planning techniques oblique methods. Linear programming approach. Linear programming approach. Linear decision rules. First one is the linear programming approach. Second one is linear decision rules. Then computer search techniques, oblique simulation models. Computer search techniques, oblique simulation models. Computer search techniques, oblique simulation models. Okay. Over. Okay. So write down next heading, investment decision. Write down next heading, investment decision. Investment decision. Okay. So first of all, try to understand what is meant by investment and why anyone performing this particular act or why anyone want to do the investment. Okay. इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या होती है? कोई बता सकता है इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या होती है? सो इन्वेस्टमेंट कंसीडर कीजिएगा, ये कुछ तो है. ओके. और इसको बाय करने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? मनी चाहिए. ओके. मनी. Okay, we want to buy something. Okay, something like this, and to buy this we required some money. Okay, we required some money. Now this buying will be considered as investment when this buying will be considered as investment when this particular product or whatever it may be, consider this product is paying you back. Okay, this particular product is paying you back in any sense. Okay, by doing the proper function of that particular product or generating the wealth for you. This particular product is paying back to you. Okay, such a expenditure or such a purchase will be considered as a investment. Will be considered as a investment. समझ में आ रहा है? आपने कुछ तो खरीदी किया और वो आपको जो जो पैसा आपने वो खरीदी करने के लिए दे दिया है, तो वो जो प्रोडक्ट आपने परचेस किया है वो प्रोडक्ट आपका वो रिकवरी करता है. वो जो इन्वेस्टमेंट की है वो रिकवरी देता है आपकी. ओके, वो सब पैसा आपने जो बाय करने के लिए दे दिया वो रिकवर करता है और उससे भी ज्यादा आपको कमा के देता है. ऐसी कौन सी भी चीज हो जिसको आप टचेबल थिंग्स आप बोल सकते हो और ऐसी कौन सी भी फिजिकल थिंग हो, वो परचेस करने के लिए जो भी आप पैसा दे देते हो, उस एक्ट को हम इन्वेस्टमेंट बोल सकते हैं. उस एक्ट को हम इन्वेस्टमेंट बोल सकते हैं. ओके, सो हियर इन मोटा मोटा बातें आप बोल सकते हैं कि इन्वेस्टमेंट is the economical activity of committing various resources like land, labor, capital with an expectation of receiving a streaming of a benefit in a future period. Okay, so here what it is told, so whatever the physical things are there like land, labor and capital. Here capital means what? Capital means what? Capital is one another word over here. Okay, so capital means what? The material. Okay, which will be convertible and expenditure on that particular material, or the machineries which will convert that material, raw material, into finished goods, or the facilities, whatever the facilities available which are purchased and that will perform the task, some task, and they are paying back to you. So such a things are to be considered as a capital. Okay, and investment on such a thing, or expenditure on such a things, or buying such a things, it will be considered as a capital investment. Okay, buying such a things will be considered as a capital investment. So if you are doing such an activity like purchasing land, or giving the salary to the labor, purchasing raw material, purchasing machines, then and you are expecting that you will receive some benefit, or you will get some benefit by doing or by purchasing these things, or doing investing on these things. So this will be considered as a investment. This will be considered as an investment. So if the time horizon over which the benefits are occurred is longer than 1 year, the resources committed as are called as a investment. इसका मतलब क्या है? जब कोई भी चीज आपने परचेस की और उससे आपको 1 साल से ऊपर बेनिफिट मिलता रहा, ओके, इफ यू परचेस समथिंग एंड फ्रॉम दैट परचेस यू विल गेट benefit more than 1 year, then that particular purchase or that particular expenditure will be called as a investment, and money spent on such a things will be called as a expenditure, will be called as a expenditure. Getting what is meant by investment? इन्वेस्टमेंट आपको पता चल गई, कौन सी भी फिजिकल चीज आपने खरीदी की, ओके, परचेस की, और उससे आपको कुछ तो बेनिफिट मिल रहा है 1 साल के लिए, ओके, 1 साल से ऊपर आपको उससे बेनिफिट मिल रहा है, तो आपको वो एक्ट को आपने इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन बोलना है, उस एक्ट को, उस परचेस को, उस एक्सपेंडिचर को आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट बोलना है। ओके, उस परचेस को आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट बोलना है। Now, taking the decision related to the such kind of a purchase or a expenditure will be considered as a investment decision. Will be considered as a investment decision. So you can write this 2 points related to the investment decision. Investment decision. Write down the first point. Investment refers to an economical activity. Investment refers to an economical activity. Investment refers to an economical activity of committing various resources like land, labor, and capital. Like land, labor, and capital. Like land, labor, and capital. With an expectation of receiving a stream of benefits in future period full stop. Next point, if the time horizon over the benefits over which the benefit if the time horizon over which the benefits are accrued is longer than 1 year, the resources committed are called the resources committed are called investment. The resources committed are called investment. And the money spent is called the expenditure. The money spent is called the expenditure. And the money spent is called the expenditure. Okay. Or so further point related to the investment decision we will discuss in the next lecture. So now you can put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, we are going to discuss the various types of investment, and also we are going to consider the capital investment, and then what are the various decisions related to investment that we are going to discuss. Okay, then next, how to analyze the benefits. Okay, that is nothing but evaluation of an investment we are going to discuss. That is payback period, average return on investment, net present value, interest rate of return, benefit cost ratio, capital rationing, profitable indexing. Okay, that we are going to discuss also. Okay, so we will stop here now. Just kindly put up your roll numbers in the chat box because I'm going to close this meeting. After closing the meeting, you are not able to put up your roll number. So do it as early as possible.